Welcome again to God's Nobody. I'm Monty's T-Bone. I want to thank the 21st subscriber for subscribing to the channel. I'm sorry I can't shoot a short video for you. Ran into a little difficulties with the executive producer of God's Nobody, Mr. Ronald Yath. Speaking of which, we have some announcements to make. This is the official letterhead. I guess paper's a little expensive these days. And I've been instructed to read this verbatim, preferably without pause. Memorandum from the Executive Office of that old Falk. Yeah, that's Ronald Yath also. Announcement 1. Due to the need for potential budgetary restraints and further cost-benefit analysis, the Nobody will no longer be authorized to film short video features until said cost-benefit analysis is performed by said Chief Finance Officer of Ronald Yath Enterprises and said Executive Producer of God's Nobody, Mr. Ronald Yath. In no way in the entertainment expenditures at this time is there authorization for prosthetic props like foam noses or round-trip airline tickets to and from Venice, not forgetting any accommodations, meals, or modes of transportation. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and state this for many of you viewers who are watching who already know this, and for some of my subscribers, if in the future you too decide you want to start a YouTube channel and make videos. The gag order's off, by the way. You can make it a written counseling session this time, Mr. Ronald Yath. As I said to you during, I don't know, number 3, number 4 of our dress down sessions, there was no prosthetic foam nose. That is a feature of the YouTube short videos. Features, yes. I first learned it by watching a channel called Roma Army, and Chloe Roma out of Canada did masterful shorts videos with the nose, and I stumbled across it when I shot the thank you short video for subscriber number 20. And as I tried to tell you yesterday, there was no prosthetic foam nose. And further, I never went to Venice. That too is a feature on the YouTube Shorts menu. Yes, I read the poem from the backdrop of Venice. It's a tremendous feature, Mr. Ronald Yath. And just so our audience can know, there are no receipts for airline tickets. Again, there are no receipts for meals or accommodations or modes of transportation. I'm sorry, folks. This is the worst job I've ever had. I didn't think that was possible. After everything I've gone through, I just didn't think this was possible. I'm going to step off camera just a second to try to get myself together, okay? All right, be right back. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Announcement 2. Old Falk Records is currently running a 20% off special off all record albums and CDs, and 40% off artists named in the following list. You don't want to miss CDs and record albums from this list of exclusive artists, available exclusively and solely at Old Falk Records. keep your eyes open for the following trend-setting artists and blockbuster album collections. Falcon, Falcon Yathie, Yathie Falcon, Yathie Falk, Falcon Rising, Falcon Landing, Old Falcon, Old Falk, That Old Falk, oh God, The Old Falk, The Old Falk, 50 of Old Falk's best top 500 hits. Okay. If you haven't gathered already, these are all aliases of Mr. Ronald Yath. They're all the same person with multiple different artist names. Okay, and I'm just going to finish this. And then I'm going to tell you about Old Falk Records. Yeah, I'm going to tell you. Yeah, you can make it this time a written counseling session, and you can use it on the official stationery of Ronald Yath Enterprises, if you want. The very best of That Old Falk, the top 10 best of the top 100 hits of That Old Falk, the best of Yathie Falk, the very best of Falcon Yathie. Okay. All right, it's going to be written, and it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. I'm ready. You know, you've heard of buyer beware, right? Well, this is an instance of seller beware. Yeah, seller beware. Let me tell you what happens on a typical day of Old Falk Records, in Old Falk Records, which is actually in suites A and B of the first floor of the Falcon building in Falcon Heights, Minnesota. Yeah, I bet you never guessed that, huh? What a surprise. It's in Falcon Heights, Minnesota. So when Mr. Ronald Yath is not sitting up on the 13th floor trying to sue people over the use of the number 13, he's down behind the glass case that is, I don't know, 25, 30 feet long, as the owner and proprietor of Old Falk Records. Now, if you walk into Old Falk Records and you say, you know, I'd like to see some titles of Merle Haggard, or you said, you know, I'd like to see something by Nicki Minaj, or I don't know, Snoop Dogg, or whoever, you know, is current right now. Say Taylor Swift's new release. Do you know what Ronald Yath's going to do? He's going to go, you know, those are great artists. But have you ever taken a look at this individual? And then he's going to take you over to the F section of the store. Check this artist right out here, Falcon. And usually the customer's like, geez, who is that? God, that guy's ugly. What did you say? Or he takes them over to the T's. Says, yeah, I know Taylor Swift's good, but maybe you should check this guy out right here. My God, who is that? That Old Falk. I've never heard of him. You've never heard of him? No. And do you know what usually happens if you have never heard of Falcon Yathie, That Old Falk, or The Old Falk? He physically tries to remove you from his store. You see, the Falcon Heights Police Department gets more calls to Old Falk Record Store than any other location in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area, simply because this man assaults sometimes his customers for not knowing who the Falcon is or who the Old Falk is. And if it wasn't for this announcement, you wouldn't know either. Now you do. Seller beware. Don't go to Old Falk Records. Yeah, write me up, man. Write me up. I'm ready. I got through it again. He's going to take over this show. I just know it. One of these days he's going to show up as the host, and you're not going to see God's nobody. Oh, these people. Let me put this memorandum down. There's actually a Bible lesson. And not coincidentally, it comes from Proverbs chapter 18, verse 21. And it reads, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof." This could prove rather prophetic after he sees this video. But I gotta tell you, most of the times in my life, it's been amazing how much growth God has been able to do in me when I'm insulted or put down and I choose to look the other way. It's amazing how patience is built that way, how self-control is built that way, how peace is maintained during those times where I'm just willing to button the lip. I've had more growth through those times where I decided to stay silent and just go on about my business. Because we all know when we're being explicitly or even implicitly insulted. But it's amazing how much God can do in a person's life when you grab that fruit of patience, when you grab that fruit of peace, and you quite literally say, "It is not mine to avenge. Vengeance belongs to the Lord." Until next time, this has been Auntie's T-Bone here on God's Nobody on the mighty YouTube. Goodbye now.